Hello everyone, welcome to another day of DebConf 22. This time we are going to hear from Daniel and Paulo in a talk called Debian Brazil, What's Going On with Our Local Communities. Please take it away.
Good morning, people. It's little 5 a.m. in Brazil, but it's now 10 a.m. here. It's early in the same way. We are here to talk about what is going on in our local community in Brazil and what we expect for the next years. So me and Paulo will talk. Arthur should be here, but he is drunk. So let's start. Our agenda is to talk about what Debian nowadays in Brazil and our perspective to 2022 and 2023 is some conclusions about what is happening. So we will just talk a little about how things are in Brazil. So we have at the week registered seven communities. We have Brasília, Ceará, Curitiba, Minas Gerais, Rio de Janeiro, Rio Grande do Sul, and São Paulo. At week, we have two communities put some information about how to contact, how to reach them. So we start talking about a little of Brasília has in the week is more information than some ones. So we can find the location, the website, wiki, Twitter, IRC channel, and Telegram group. That is, as we saw in the talk 2 days ago, there is our linked, here's a bridge. So they have a page of contributors, so these people are active now there. So it's important to list to people know who are doing this job. We had Ceará too, but they are not so active. They supposed to do a main DebConf in 2020, but because of the COVID, it was cancelled. So we talk about what we expect for this. They had informations too, but some of this information is not updated. We talk with them to update, but no one updates some things. Curitiba was most active in the past, and the last 2 years it's quite inactive, but we had some tasks we're working on. So, and the same way we have a lot of information to people to get in contact. So this is the contributors in Curitiba. I also put Antonio there, but he is not a formal contributor. But he is our friend.
We need to complete the list.
Yeah. I put some activity that we used to do in Curitiba. So we are most weekly meetings. So doing some synchronous workshop. So we did one for Git and package and translation. So with this package workshop, Leonardo start to contribute, and the Git we try to explain some things to people who start using Git. So we had an intention to improve these activities like Brasilia does. So Minas Gerais, it was another state, and they are a little activity. So I had no information about the contributors there, like Rio de Janeiro and Rio Grande do Sul. São Paulo is one of the largest cities in Brazil, but they don't have a strong community, at least not informed. We know that they do some activities there, but they don't report what they are doing. So this is a little about what the things working in Brazil nowadays. So we had a lot of communities, but we hadn't a lot of work being done in all of them. So we talk about what we could do and make things to improve and make things better. So what we expect to 2022, so we would like to improve our lives in Debian Brazil. So in the past, especially before COVID and the start of COVID, we had a lot of lives that it was useful to integrate the community. We would like to have more aligned between national coordination. That is just a word, because we don't have a national coordination explicit. But when people usually report for me and Paulo things, but everyone is Debian Brazil. No, it's not us. We would like to return participation in in-person technology events or another kind of events that we could be like Latino Air will happen in October. We would like to be there, represent Debian. And we have a project, and that is stuck. So we talked with the DPL some days ago to restart this project. That is to be a great video team branch in Brazil, so we can streaming and record our activities that is happening there. I'd like to say something.
Yeah. I mean about the video team, exactly. Yeah, we have some, because here, for instance, here in DebConf, we have the video team working for streaming the talks. So if we intend to have some main DebConfs in Brazil, some events in Brazil related to Debian, would be good if you could streaming them and record and stream them. So we believe that we can have some equipments to. We need some equipments to do that for the streaming and recording. So we starting to make a budget to ask for help from Debian. From Debian, if you can get the money to buy the equipments to do that, probably some simple equipment like a camera and one or two machines and some sound equipments. This way we can record it, like as I said, record it and stream the talks for the future. People can watch them or can watch it alive when these events would be happen.
We think it's important because we should maybe watched the Fica em Casa use Debian. That is so nice that people that no opportunity to be in person at the events could learn about Debian and start to contribute.
Yeah, and we can go to some free software events in general. For we can propose some talks about Debian related to Debian with the Brazilian community, and in the same way we can stream and record these talks. For now we will have a Latinware in October in Foz do Iguaçu. We asked for a booth, and we proposed a mini DebConf there, but we haven't an answer yet about that. We don't know if this will really happen in October. But as you know, today Latinware it's basically the only event about free software that happened in Brazil, take place in Brazil. So if you can have a space there, would be good. But we need to wait an answer from the organizers. And in the same way, for next year, we hope that we can start to have a lot of free software events in Brazil, as we said in the past. And maybe we'll be there to talk about Debian and have many contributors or users talking and they have discussion about Debian too.
Yeah, it's another way to contribute to the free software communities in general. We can use Debian to contribute for other events too. So it's something that we expect to 2022, but it's not only this. We had an idea, for example, to 2023, to organize 2 or 3 meetings around the country, like mini DebConfs. So we had an idea to have every year, so we can a lot of region from the country, because Brazil is large and it's difficult for people from south to be in the north, and we like doing something not centralized. We can reach more people.
Yeah.
So the main idea for the next year is to have one in Brasília, that is in the central region of Brazil, one in the south, probably Curitiba, and another one in the northeast, that probably in Maceió. That is a place that was supposed to host the mini DebConf in 2020. So now
Maceió, Salvador.
Maceió is the
Maceió
future.
or Salvador?
It's the future. So it's doing like this, which probably in Brasília will be the largest edition, more activities. So, and another ones is just to spare and have activities for another people that couldn't go to this Brasília, for example. We are thinking to do this mini DebConf in Brasília in March. We need that Arthur works there to be available, but he said that is okay. Kanashiro will help too. So it's one of the things that we expect to next year.
Yeah, just to remember, until 2019, we had three mini DebConfs, all of them in Curitiba. And 2019, we had DebConf, the international conference in Curitiba too. And then we were planning to have a main DebConf in Maceió, and because of the pandemic in 2020, we had to cancel it. So we hope we can return to this idea to have a main DebConf there in Maceió. And Daniel and I, we are talking about to have more events because it would be great if you could have one main DebConf per year, and everybody could go to this unique event. But as Daniel said, it's difficult to people from north and northwest travel to Curitiba, for instance, or to Brasilia. So maybe we are talking, maybe we can split and have more conference or meetings around the country, around Brazil. And sure, we won't have everybody joining in every mini DebConfs because it's hard to travel 2 or 3 times per year. But if you can have especially some contributors, some Debian developers in each of these mini DebConfs, it would be great to talk about Debian. Some of them, probably in all of them, we will have some basic talks, like introduction to Debian, what is Debian, how to help Debian, how to contribute to Debian. We need these basic talks in all of them. But if you have contributors and developers in these main DebConfs too, we can go deep and actually you can work for Debian in these DebConfs more than just have talks and basic talks for newbies. So, well, I think we can try. We don't know if it would be good, if it will be good or not. We don't have this guarantee, but maybe you can try something different for the next year. We talked with DPL too about have some budget from Debian to help with these events, especially for pay for travels, pay for flight tickets, and he said that
and food.
Flight tickets and food, just what we need. Probably we can have some local sponsors too, because a lot of companies usually they want to help Debian in Brazil. And as Daniel said, probably the largest main DebConf will be in Brasilia because we have a strong community there, a strong group of contributors there, and I think we can use Brasilia as the main DebConf, and the other places as mini DebConfs or some small meetings for 2 or 3 days to get people to see people together working, especially learning and especially working for Debian.
Yeah, and if we can, the branch of the video team is okay, we can stream and people that know they're in person, participate remotely. Another things that we expect from the next year is to improve and adapt some methodologies that we're using in Debian in general to Brazilian context. It's because we know there's some things Brazilians, I don't know why, but they don't know how to use this in the same way that there is all the community. But we would like to improve and do things like Brazilians likes. So we can, in this way, we can have more formal contributors to the Debian project. So we had a lot of people that is helpy, but not formal contributors.
Yeah. We have a lot of users in Brazil, what is great, what is very nice. Brazil have a lot of users, Debian users. This is very nice. We can see in many social media or groups, as I don't know, Facebook or Telegram, or probably there is some group in WhatsApp, we don't know. But usually users in Brazil like to help each others. So it's very nice. This is not a problem if you have a lot of users, but we need to go further, give it one more step, and turn most of these users, if you have because you have a large group of users, but you need to have a lot of contributors too. People contributing to Debian more than just use it. As we have many ways to contribute, as doing packaging for technical people, but you have translation for non-technical people that they can help. You have design, publicity too. So we have many ways to contribute to Debian, and we'd like to have all. I'm sure not all these users as contributors, but many of these users contributing to Debian in the real way, and not just using and helping other users as giving answers about some questions. So we invite everybody to contribute to Debian. We are here in Kosovo because we are contributors, and if you don't know, if you are a contributor or you want to be a contributor, you can ask to Debian to help you with flight tickets. For instance, there is a bursary budget that you can ask for flight tickets, food and accommodation, and we have a lot of people here joining DebConf in Kosovo. So we are here traveling in an international traveling to help Debian. If you want to be here or next year you want to be in India, India will be the place where DebConf will take place. You can join in, you can contribute, but you need to do something for Debian to deserve to receive this bursary, or at least you need to show that you want to start to contribute to Debian.
Yeah, it's nice to have a lot of people just using Debian because Debian is nice. But as we saw, we have a lot of communities, but it's inactive. So if you can have more formal contributors, can extend the activities in these communities and start to have more and more and more.
Yeah. I think we have a lot of work to do next year. Sure, as everybody knows, the pandemic basically stopped everything. But in pandemic, we could have two or three events that we organized there in Brazil online. We started to do the DebConf. Use Debian Brazil channel on YouTube to talk about Debian and with a lot of people. We need to return these talks online. But I believe we are restarting, as Daniel said before, we are restarting our projects, especially the physical meetings.
Well, it's the main things that we expect to this year and next years. So, in things where we have a conclusion that we take, that we have a strong community people, but not a lot of contributors. We could see a lot in other events, free software events or related. There is a lot of people who like to be in community, but these people are not contributors. So we need to know and think how to make these people start contributors. And we need to make cities and states more strong, to have more national community strongest, and even the project will be strong in this case. So everyone will win it in the end. And it's all we had today. So thank you for watching or be here. And if you have some questions or comments, we are able to answer.
Okay, any questions? I'll be running the microphones if you want to know. Okay. Sure.
Thank you for the talk and for organizing all those events in Brazil. And I would like to know, what do you think if we just split those events in some more developer-oriented conference events and others more user-oriented? So we could make all the developers and contributors attend the same conference, and then we have other conference that will focus more on users and what they want, what they need, and what we could do in Debian project to make their life better, instead of having like 3 events every year with 3 general events, you know, like with contributors and users, because I think we will not be able to meet every contributor, developers and maintainers 3 times per year, right? So I don't know if you thought about that, and I would like to know what you think.
We already sent it in our DDS group, this idea. We think to start with this idea, but it's not written in stone, so we can change it if we see it's not work. But of course, it's nice to have people, contributors meeting, like DebConf is a point to have contributors be. But I don't know, in this moment, we are needing a lot of new contributors. So because of this, we think to split in more general activities. But it's not if you see it's not working, we can, for next year, change the format.
Yeah, maybe we can have an agreement with Debian developers and contributors. For instance, let's do agreement to everybody goes to Brasilia, for instance. Let's choose Brasilia to have many Debian developers and contributors as we can have there, and then probably use for instance Maceió as a more basic event. If you can have many contributors there, Debian developers there, I believe we will have this not a formal way, but we will have this kind of thing that you said. Probably in Brasilia we can have more contributors. In Maceió we'll have more newbies or people giving basic talks there. I think informally we'll have this. The end will be this.
Merci. Let's just okay. Very nice from Joyce Blind. Very nice conversation. I was wondering, have you ever heard of any stories of people using technology to connect some of the Amazon rainforest tribes? Here in Canada, where I am, we have the Inuit natives in the north, and there is some help from Canadian organizations and governments to help digitally connect the natives to bring them online and be able to help them with remote education, remote medicine, and help with communication?
I never heard about some things. I know there is, I forgot her name. There has a boat hacker in the rural region, but unfortunately she's not able to do this again. But I don't know another activities that is in this way to connect. It's a very interesting things to do, but we know that is Amazon, Acre is not easy to go there, but it's nice to think of something to do there.
Well, in the past, there were some projects like the Telecentro thing. I think they put satellite connections there, and there are people going there, not specifically to Debian, but there was some initiatives like that. That's probably a good idea to think about that at some point.
I remember the project that they were installing wireless points in remote areas, not exactly in the forest, but in remote areas. Using that's something that is very common today. That's the mesh connection today. The routers are using mesh. Yes. So I remember some years ago, some folks in Brazil started this project using common routers and adapted them to use mesh connection. And this is something that it's being common today. They started some years ago in remote areas. It's nice.
Hello. Yes, just to emphasize those ideas about to look around the opportunities to connect to existing communities. For example, in Brasilia, the Debian group there started their meetings using the space of Calango Hacker Club, for example. In Salvador, also there are some space like that, and São Paulo, etc. And also projects like Barco Hacker Club or Barco Hacker, I think is the name. And I think this mesh network, I don't know if it's the same, but I heard that there are something named Baobá, I guess is the name of some kind of protocol. And as Brazil is huge, I think it's a really nice strategy to get more close to those communities when possible, for sure, because sometimes it's quite difficult.
Yeah, in Maceió they have been using the Osh hacker space. They don't have their they didn't name it as Debian group there, but they are a free software group, but most of them like to use Debian. And because of this hacker space, they have people to organize a mini DebConf there in 2020. So hacker spaces are nice spaces to have people working together.
Since you are talking about reaching those people in remote areas, I think it's a great idea to, because we have a lot of many knowledge about teaching, for instance, packaging for people. We have all those things. We have been doing that, but I think we don't have a well-structured way to do that. So we know that Heriberto, he has that course video that he teaches things for new people, but I think we should try to reboot that and try to I don't know if it should be just a wiki page to guide those people through the process, or if you should start to work again with videos, because I think it's easier for most of people, and share them via PeerTube or something like that. And then I think this is at least a way that we can use to reach those people in the north part of Brazil, because we know that it's hard for them to attend any of those events.
To add to that, before you reply, one thing I liked about the Brazilian team was that they would provide material in advance, so that when they do a synchronous meeting, like a video call, they don't spend that time just delivering the materials. And people have read or watched the material before, and they just come to discuss. And if we want to use the in-person events to boost the contributors, the number of contributors, that might be one strategy, like reach them in advance, because 3 days, or even if we do a minimum of 1 week, it's too little time for people to really get involved, right? So if they have access to the material in advance, and then they go there and they see the more experienced contributors, they have the experience to talk and to hack together and do things together, it's going to, I guess, it's going to have a higher probability of us being able to retain those contributors.
Yeah.
And we have done something like that Teixeira is saying, because in Brasilia, we felt the same, that we were spending a lot of time explaining again and again and again when new people join our meetings.
Yeah.
So we decided, okay, we have those links. If you are interested in packaging, we just share those links, and during the meeting, we just answer questions. That's much better.
Yeah. That we are here as Debian Brazil, and we have coordinated this kind of group in Brazil. But it's important to remember, we don't need to ask anything for us if you want to do something for Debian or organize some group in Brazil. We are here to help, not to be owner of anything. So if you think that you should organize something in Brazil, some group, and you should talk with us, there is no problem with that. We have worked as a bridge between groups in Brazil and the Debian international community, especially helping to split the ideas in Brazil. But it's important to say that we are not the owner of Debian Brazil. We are not the boss there in Brazil, not the bosses there in Brazil. So everybody is free to do anything they want. And if you want to have a group and talk with international Debian group, be our guest, you are free to do that. It's important to underline that we're not bosses, Debian bosses in Brazil. So everybody is free to organize everything they want. We are here just to help, to coordinate, and help we are here to help, not to be owner of anything.
That's the thing. The idea is more to coordinate, because we have multiple initiatives in multiple places. So the idea is to just share the idea, so we can coordinate and do a single thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's not that we are asking you if we can do this. It's not like that.
Yeah, that was my point. I mean, the Brazilian team is doing this anyway. So if they are doing over Jitsi, there is no point in being only people from Brasilia. Like, we can do that in the national level anyway, and then like coordinate that when the events happen. We tell people to try to go to these events and like help pay for the trip if we can. I mean, I guess we can, but I'm not expecting you to do everything. The point is to exactly to coordinate these initiatives and join them with the in-person events.
Probably, for instance, folks in Brazil are working. They are physically together, near each other, so they can meet each other to work, and then they can use online tools to talk about what they are doing. But it's important to say that we are not bosses there. We're not the owner of Debian in Brazil. We have some initiatives, as for instance, we sell T-shirts, Debian Brazil T-shirts, to raise money for Debian in Brazil. This is something that we do there to split the word about Debian. But anybody is free to do whatever they want. Arthur?
Hello. So I would like to just punctuate. Okay. So like in Brasilia, we have weekly meetings, and I feel that the information from Debian Brazil for the past 5-6 months, in my head is like missing because the live streamings they stop. So I didn't see Lenharo and Paulo for like some time. I would like to know if there's any plans to create, for example, monthly meetings that everyone from Debian Brazil can join, just like we do in our weekly meetings. Doesn't need to be to do technical stuff, just to join people and talk and see how is the project going, how we are facing the issues, and how we are getting better.
Yeah, it's good. We can return this kind of meeting, monthly meeting, right? What do you think about it?
Yeah, we have talked about this, and it's one of the goals we have to improve the frequency of the lives and meetings. So it's we know that is important. So, but usually only me and Paulo are able to do. So we are over with this. So if more people can join and help with this, it will be very good, nice.
I mean, it's not a live stream that I'm talking about. It's like a GTC meeting that people can join. It's not just a link that people can, just like we do in the weekly meetings, just join and like talk and see, like nothing very concrete. There's no content to talk, just to get people together, because sometimes we spend a lot of time that we don't talk, and we don't know what the other places in Brazil, what they're doing, how they're dealing with each other, and so that would be good to have a GTC meeting.
Oh, nice. Very nice opinion. You can.
Anyone else?
Organize. The cameraman.
The cameraman.
You can't
wants to
start the
talk
camera
to-
for you. It's
Thank you, Terceiro. So one thing that just started in São Carlos, that's where I'm from, we are creating a group to promote free software in the University of São Paulo. And we had very nice experiences doing install fests in the start of the semester and have a time slot allocated to answer questions, help users that have that been just installed. So they have a lot of questions, so we allocated a time slot for that. So I was going to ask if you think that's a good thing to do in the mini DebConfs, especially if you don't have as many contributors like you said in Maceió. So we can do that to attract more users, right? So just a comment.
Nice. I would like to remember that tomorrow, Saturday, we will have a BOF. If you don't know BOF, it's a meeting, like it's in Portuguese, desconferência, and we will have one tomorrow to continue to talk about Debian Brazil and some projects that we would like to have there. It will be more an open space to talk about that. Everybody is invited to join it, and it will be 10 a.m. in Brazil, so people in Brazil can join it because it's
not too early.
Too early. It's a little bit early, but we invite everybody to join tomorrow in this meeting.
Yeah, but now our time is over. Terceiro will.
Thank you very much for the presentation, for the useful discussion we had, and see you again back here at 11.